Now this is where you would utilize your AOI trend line here. And I'm going to show you an example because you wanted to see it. So we had a trade here. So that's our AOI trend line. That's how I do my trend lines typically. Now look right here, rejected, came back, rejected, broke through, retested it, but we're creating lower highs in here. Now what we did right here is we broke structure. So once market broke this area, okay, now I want to see a retest of some sort. Okay, well, it's probably not going to retest up to this high because it's quite the drop there. But now we have this AOI trend line, which is very clearly visible, which gives us that confluence. It's visible to me anyways. It might not be visible to you at this moment, but it's visible. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have that 50 moving average. We wicked above it, but we closed engulfing. So you see how price right here, this red candle closed below this green candle body. Now, what you can do in this type of thing, this is also going to be subjective here, kind of depending on where you're going to put your take profit. For me, just by looking at the charts, this is where I would have my take profit. Right around in here. That's where I would have my take profit. Now I want to see where my stop loss would go. Okay. So yeah, this would be another good one, you know, 1 to 2.6, which is a good setup there. I would
Yes.
I would short it right after this close here. And this is the 30-minute time frame on gold. That's where I would short it. It gave me my entry candle. As soon as that candle closes, I short it. And then boom, thing just tanks. And it failed to at first, yeah, I mean it failed to close below this structure right there. I don't always like to go right to structure, like right in here. It did come down, but sometimes it will close above that. And so that's where I'm at with this one right here. Nice little 30-minute engulfing to the downside, supports in here. And we'll work on where take profit's going to be another time. Right now, I just want you to get the entry concept down.
Yeah.
Does all this make sense to you?
Yes. It
And then you
does.
have to realize like another thing with this one is, okay, very beautiful, lower high right here as well. We know that we've got to break a structure, lower high, engulfing candle, super, super solid.
So engulfing candle is anytime also if it's red, the body has to close.
This body has to engulf the previous opposite candle. Like it's got, so if this candle was red right here, then this wouldn't be considered an engulfing candle. But because this candle right here, and let me zoom in, because this candle's green and this red candle closed below this green candle body, that's considered an engulfing candle. And you can do stuff like chat if you need any clarification on engulfing candles, just ask Chat GPT, hey, what's an engulfing candle? It will give you a great answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
can I have pictures of an engulfing candle? Absolutely. Chat GPT will do it for you. That way, like details like that,
Uh-huh.
that's like you can easily learn that just from, typing in a chat GPT,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
No, like and this is it works on so like for example, we have an engulfing candle to the upside here on this support, and it pumped, it pushed up. We have another engulfing candle. Now this is a bigger one, so I wouldn't trade that one because my risk reward wouldn't be near as good. I like seeing smaller, and they're gonna range in size, but I like seeing smaller, just super, that way I can get more of a better risk reward on that. And sometimes, like, depending on where my take profit is, and this is just what I do sometimes I won't put it above that wick. I'll just say, hey, like, I just hope that sometimes I'll just barely put it above like the body close. So like right there, you could get a 1 to 5 just by doing that. It's kind of dependent though. It's like what you want to do. Because there could be times where it's like, yeah, it did actually come back up and wick you out. But
Yes.
a lot of the times it will just keep dumping on that, so it's kind of dependent on what you want to do. Do you want a 1 to 2.6 or do you want a 1 to 5.3, you know? And if this one loses, it loses, If it wins, obviously, so like if you're risking $200 and you win this one, you're gonna make about $1,200. So it's
That's
like,
pretty
okay,
good.
you could lose 5 of these in a row and win one of them, and you're set. What you want to do though is you want to make sure that you're not holding on to losers. So if this thing does go against me and you're holding on to it and you're not using the right stop loss concept, then you're screwed, That's until you actually get disciplined enough and accept the potential loss, you're not going to make it if you're holding on to your losses. If you're moving your stop loss, you got to have your set stop loss, you got to have your set take profit, you got to have your set entries. And if you can just do that stuff and be on the charts and look for this, and it happens a lot, like I said, especially on the 1 minute. I mean, you're gonna get, if you were to look at the charts from 6 a.m. till noon on all the pairs that I'm using right here, you would probably find, I'm bet on an average day, 5 setups.
Oh, wow.
Well, you just got to be present to catch them. You know what I mean? There's sometimes, actually, majority of the time, I already know the direction of the market. I'm just waiting for that candle confirmation. So I know, like the other day, like this during all this on the live right here, because of the lower highs and all that this stuff in here, I was telling everyone that gold and silver are going to short. And what did it do? Took a dump. And this is the only reason I knew that is because of price action. I saw a lower high, lower high, lower high. Like this thing's going to dump. And then I think the 4 hour was pretty obvious as well. Oh, this is how I knew gold was going to drop this week. And this is same concept. So right here, and this is going to be an AOI. We're going to learn about this, but right now it's just not it.
Yeah.
So you see price rejected here, 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 broke a little bit below that, but majority of the time it stayed above this trend line. Now we broke through, we came off that AOI, and what did we get? Engulfing to the downside.
Mhm.
Engulfing to the downside with a bunch of lower highs in there, and I think this has got some structure too. Not great structure, but this to me was just so obvious that it was going to keep dropping. So that's why I was looking for the drops on the lower time frames.